amazing.
So under the general heading of the more you know about the Natick Service Council, the more you will donate, it's a pleasure to introduce co-presidents of the board, Jennette Szretter and John McNally. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Andy.
We're glad to be here.
I'm
Glad
happy to have you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So there's so much to talk about. We only
really
have
is.
5 minutes. Tell us a little bit about your role, your history, a little bit about being the co-president of the board. Jennette, would you care to begin?
Yes, I've been on the board, I think it's just about 4 years, and have volunteered at the food pantry and other parts of the Service Council for many, many years before that. And rose to the position of co-president this year ago, October, and have just been amazed over and over again at the type of services and the number of people that we reach every single week. It's truly inspirational.
yeah.
And you get the feeling that if those services weren't provided, people would just go without.
They truly would.
They would, yeah.
Times have been very difficult, and we've come through in so many different ways with very creative programming.
That's been evident tonight. When we talked to Greg and Lauren, it was astounding at the breadth of services that are available.
That's right. And I think as you've heard many times before, we're more than a food pantry. And many people do see us, or when they think of the Service Council, they do think of the food pantry, which is our flagship program. But as you've heard repeatedly, we do a whole portfolio of services. And as Greg was mentioning, it's getting wider and wider. And the demands on our services, given the economy and given the situation that we have amongst many of our most vulnerable neighbors, is getting even more so.
Well, I think sometimes the challenge of an organization is that they define their mission and they stay within it, and then a new request comes up, and it's fairly easy to say, we don't do that. I've been impressed to hear that when a new request comes up, that the answer has been, let's see if we can do that. And I mean, the new services that are being provided, and I would imagine the board gets some credit for thinking in a way that would allow for an expansion of services and meeting needs. Is that part of the vision that the board has to provide in the work that you do?
Absolutely, and we've completed an extensive strategic planning process, really taking into consideration the community needs, and then how to utilize our community partners, how do we provide the best services, how do we partner with other organizations to make things happen. None of what the Service Council does would be possible without its generous donors, thank you very much.
That's right.
And also the support groups that give tirelessly of their hours, as well as their food, as well as donations in kind. And really creating those new partnerships is one of the main jobs that our excellent staff does on a weekly basis.
Yeah. So, and I think another thing that you have heard tonight, and it's over and over again, and to me, it's what makes us so unique, is that we are homegrown. We're a Natick-based organization funded by Natick and local funds. No outside money's coming in. And
It's not a part of the town government.
Not at all.
It's not taxpayer funded.
No.
Right.
There's not some line item in some $100 million budget that supplies it. I mean, it's entirely funded by donations.
by
Absolutely.
donations and foundation
Right.
and some grants. But
And some of our other important partners are our faith communities, who make an ongoing contribution every single year and really become partners with us, as well as partnering with the Community Services Department in town, Recreation and Parks, the high school, the middle schools, and we would be really in tough shape without all the work from the elementary schools. And you see the thoughtfulness that the children that have participated this evening, they know what it means to donate food. They know what the Natick Service Council is. They bring their energy and their talent to our telethon, and they bring their food donations to their schools. And without that kind of caring, we would not be able to deliver the services that we are able to give to our neighbors.
that's correct.
What if somebody were sitting at home and thinking that my $20 won't go far? You guys are loaded with corporate sponsors. You get these these very nice checks from local people. You don't need me to contribute $10-15 on the website. How would you address people that sometimes think that maybe their modest contributions don't really help much? What would you say to that?
I couldn't differ more
That's right.
than
Yeah,
with
agreed.
that.
Every cent counts.
Every
It really
cent
does.
counts.
Yeah.
And The fact is that because of the partnerships that the Service Council has, every dollar is leveraged into much more. It provides a service that allows people to get even more donations. So without that dollar, you wouldn't have the extra healthy food to go in. It would just be a simple meal or something like that. Every little bit makes a difference. It sounds cliched, but we see the results of those donations every single day.
We also see, if I may, we also
Yes.
see the needs increasing for
Yeah.
our services. So, for example, last winter, which was a very cold one, the number of requests that we had for home heating oil assistance went up by 50%.
You said 50.
50%.
So the amount of requests
That's right.
for assistance
Yeah.
went up 50%
Yeah, that's right.
last winter.
We had an 11% growth year to year in the number of families that we serve. So our client base grew by 11%. And we could look at similar kinds of statistics right across the board. So another way to answer your question is to say every penny counts because there is a need out there.
And tonight
it's
would be
growing.
tonight would be a good night. A relatively modest gift of say 25 or 50 bucks would be matched by an anonymous donor that's matching it, and then those funds also potentially can be matched from other sources. So $50 can quickly become $200, and those are real physical services that are provided to neighbors who are in need.
And if I could chime in on the idea of partnership again, it's our youth groups in town, like the Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, the DeMolay Boys, the Strivers that are sponsoring the Jingle Bell Run that's coming up in December. These are, again, grassroots endeavors that really do make a difference every single day.
What else is on your list?
Well, the fraternal organizations in town. And just to remind everyone that we're coming into that season of giving, be it the Thanksgiving food drive that we need help with, where potatoes and squash and a pumpkin pie make a difference. And as well as the family sponsorships for holiday programs. I think it's just a normal thing to think about, going, oh, how can I help someone this time of year? And the Natick Service Council really should be first on that call list.
It seems like it's the time of year when people tend to think about those sorts of things. So let's say a family was sitting around the dinner table tonight and they wanted to commit themselves to help volunteer a little bit at the Natick Service Council, either physically or financially. What would they do in order to physically come volunteer? Would they make a phone call, or is there something that they would ask for? What would be the best way to do?
Check out our website for opportunities, but of the holidays, the best thing to do is to make a call and leave a message for Patty Schaefer, our unbelievable volunteer coordinator.
Her name comes up all the time.
She works wonders. She truly does.
Well, here's to Patty Schaefer.
Yeah,
Cheers.
she's a key person.
Well, thank you both for your volunteer service, for being
Thank you.
co-presidents of the
Thank
board.
you.
Thank you.
It's that happy time again where we get a big check from, this time it's my golfing buddy John Stone from the computer
Hey.
guys. So thank you once again for all
Thank
your
you.
help.
Thank
And
you.
we
And-
encourage everyone to participate and to call to see how they too can help.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.